hope you all doing well this morning. This is my forecast package for the lower 48. Um, Happy Friday. Today is the 8th of August. I hope you have something nice planned for the weekend. Right now we have, over the continent of the U.S., we have a large, a mid-level low here in the upper Midwest with enhanced flow, bringing quite a strong MCS to North Dakota, South Dakota, into Minnesota. If you look at the higher, colder cloud tops here, you can see what's going on. And you bring up the radar. This is quite strong here. Bring up the radar. May not seem that strong, but let's take a look at the real quick with the winds. That this 70, 80 miles an hour straight line winds right now going through these areas. This just is high res velocity showing with estimates the winds at the surface here. And let me try from a different angle. Anyway, basically the reds and oranges are winds going away from the radar, and the green to white colors are winds going away from the radar. So you can see the strongest winds here, 50, 60. And given how close it is to the radar, I would believe these numbers here. So significant wind damage, destructive, 180 miles an hour. So really, this is not good. So, and also some tornado warnings embedded in here. I forget where they are, but Grand Forks observed. There's a tornado ongoing right now in the line here. Right here. And that's what can happen a lot of times when with the QLCS type tornadoes, they spin up real quickly in the line and can be given the vorticity and wind speeds coming and going away from the radar, especially on the northern edge of just, you can see all these peaks in the flow here. Anyway, that's what's going on right now. It's I hate to be up there right now. That's I hope those people are okay, because overnight events like this are not good. People are sleeping right now, probably. For the rest of the U.S., relatively quiet, to be honest with you. And we had that potential system off the southeast coast, but that's not going to move towards the continental U.S. at all. And at the mid levels, we have this mid-level feature that's hanging around along the North Carolina, South Carolina, with what looks like the main driver between the weather and the northern tier here is this mid-level feature and enhanced flows moving forward. So I'm going to focus on that and then go over the local forecast and what the model output is here. So, okay, mid-level flow here. Trying to have everything together today so I get everything done here pretty quick. So we move through time here. Oh, this is the latest. Let's go back a few minutes. Runs here 60. This goes 48 hours out. See, the flow is enhanced. This mid-level feature moving through North Dakota today. And this area here is going to be where severe weather is going to be again today. a little further east. Um, and as the flow continues to move that way, you can see an enhancement in the mid-level jet here, especially at 700 millibars. So I have a feeling this is going to be Saturday. We're definitely going to have some severe weather in this area. At the surface, what are we looking at here? We have this low off the southeast here, very weak and one-sided, maybe developing. HRR wants to develop it. Hard to say whether that's going to happen or not. For the southeast, relatively dry. You can see this feature here. It made an upper level feature moving through the flow is enhancing some storms here. And this is on Saturday. If we go back to Friday, which is today, moves east, you can see storms developing along the Canadian border, excuse me, into Minnesota and along the Great Lakes here. If you look at severe weather real quickly, what the upper felicity it thinks are going to be, and we zoom into that area a little bit, Minnesota, we may have another at MCS. We will have another severe weather event moving through Minnesota and possibly UP in Michigan, Wisconsin. And this model is wanting to bring two different lines of storms through into Saturday morning in the same areas, which I'm not sure if that's going to happen. But if we zoom out a little bit to the regional view, excuse me, I'm coming down with a cold or something. So I apologize for the clearing of my throat here. So the system right now moving through, weakened some. We have that enhancement in the the mid levels. Pretty late at night, this gets going here. And if we look at the, let's just to kind of get a reflection on what the winds are going to be at the surface, we look at the 10-meter gusts here. This is likely a cold front moving through on the northern edge here and along the Colorado Rockies. I mean, it's going to be pretty windy here, even though this wind may be a little bit underdone. If we look at maybe the NAM 3 kilometer, models differ on timing and all these things, but you see the winds from the head of the front here moving through. And if you look at the temperatures, that reflects a change in air mass. Well, you got the MCS and maybe like the cold front maybe moving through. Yeah. So anyway, for the biggest weather story in the next couple of days is going to be the severe weather up here in the upper Midwest and high plains. But as far as the rest of the country, we're going to zoom out real quick. And go back to the reflectivity, excuse me. NAM wants to keep moving this through the flow. And we see increased moisture in the southeast. That upper mid-level feature may enhance some storms along the Canadian border again on Sunday night. And you can see enhanced reflectivity along uh, Illinois, Wisconsin, Iowa, uh, which may pose a little bit of flooding risk, which I'll look at real quickly here. Forecasts. The current hazards, real quickly, too, you could see the heat advisories for the southern part of the country, extreme heat warning for the desert southwest, red flag warning, which means risk of fires, and some heat advisories and red flag warnings and extreme heat watch um, into the on the Cascades there, and the severe thunderstorms going on. So as far as excessive rainfall goes, for today, you can see where the biggest threat is along the Canadian border here in Minnesota, it's surrounded by a marginal risk in Wisconsin, North Dakota, parts of Iowa, Illinois, Wisconsin, um, South Dakota, and a small sliver along the parts of Florida along the southeast coast. Day two, like we talked about a few minutes ago, the flooding threat is centered in Iowa and Wisconsin, surrounded by, and this is where the system's moving through here, frontal boundary and flow, monsoonal flow picking up again here, New Mexico and Arizona, along the southeast coast and Florida again. Moves a little bit further south here with slight risk, and then in the monsoon favored areas in Arizona and Mexico, marginal risk within precipitation chances increasing here in the southeast. We go on to day 4 and 5. That's just a little bit to the west here along the Gulf Coast. You still have looks like a stalled frontal boundary out in this area, with likely high pressure building further into the east here, and the marginal risk in these areas here. Going into the severe risk today, categorical slight surrounded by marginal for the upper Midwest in the same areas we've been talking about, mostly driven by 5% tornado risk, surrounded by 2% risk. Wind, not forecast to be um, as significant as yesterday's event. Yesterday we had hatched areas and hail, 50% surrounded by same thing, 50% surrounded by 5% risk. For tomorrow, the threat for wind moves eastward and along the front range of the Rockies. Hail, not quite as much of a threat as you move eastward into Iowa, Illinois, Wisconsin, and Kansas, Missouri on the front range. Tornado risk, maybe some vorticity picking up around the Denver area along the front range. And categorical for day 3. Small marginal risk in the southern part of the country here as that system lifts out. As far as the current hazards, I'd like to do this threat briefing if I remember to do it. Extreme heat still in the southwest and southern plains today. Temps above 110 are possible in those areas, although that threat's going to be shifting eastward. Um, Widespread showers and storms, flash flooding to Atlantic coast states. That wasn't really highlighted on today's flood risk, but um, Marginal risk for severe storms in the southeast. Well, let's take a look real quick. So local area, gonna be quite nice today. Winds from the northeast, 80, 85 a high. It's not bad. Going into Saturday, chance of shower and storms pick up, still high 85. And through the rest of the period, you can see temperatures start to rise some with winds slowly shifting to the southeast, southwest, which ultimately will bring higher temps, coming closer back to normal, but increased rain chances as well. So enjoy the next week or so of relatively cooler temps because it's inevitably going to warm up again. That's all I got for today. I may do another video or talk about the severe weather later on once I get more time to analyze it. I hope you have a good day.